Housing in America is not affordable, and it will never be affordable as long as U.S. housing policy treats a house as a good investment and not a necessity of life. Put simply, something cannot be a good investment and affordable at the same time, as a good investment necessarily appreciates in value more quickly than inflation, and something whose value outpaces inflation will become increasingly unaffordable over time. Hence, for the average American, ownership of a home is a pipe dream. You can no longer work a standard job and expect to buy a home with income alone. But for those who really want a home despite not having the funds to buy one, you have an alternative. Adverse possession, aka squatting. Adverse possession is when you occupy a vacant home long enough for the house to legally become yours. In Washington state, if you occupy a residence for 7 years, that residence legally becomes your property. In most states, the de facto landowner has little means to eject a squatter, as squatting is usually a civil matter, requiring the landowner to go through the court system to eject the squatter. Washington state is less squatter-friendly than most states, and a landowner can call the police to have a squatter ejected. Hence, Washington is not the best place to obtain property by adverse possession, as once you are discovered by the actual owner of the property, you are likely to be removed from the property. Of course, you could always just kill the owner of the property, hide the body, and take the residence for 7 years to acquire a home. If hidden well, the body will not be found, and the murder becomes a simple missing persons case. But no one would actually kill a person just to take over a residence, right? On the chilly evening of Thursday, September 20th, 2018, a landscape worker commissioned by a 67-year-old retiree was out to perform his job. Usually, when he arrived at the retiree's property, he would be greeted by the man, Steve Morphis. Morphis lived alone and had few social contacts besides this landscape worker, meaning that the worker's arrival was a chance for Morphis to stay connected with the outside world. However, today, Morphis did not greet that landscaper. The landscaper did not think this was odd because today Morphis's car was not on the property. He nevertheless went about his duties, and when he made his way to the shed for a cleaning, he noticed a hole dug in the yard, in the shape of a grave. Upon entering the shed, the landscaper would discover Morphis's reason for not greeting the man. He was dead.
911, what are you reporting?
I believe there's somebody dead was murdered. I think I found a body in the shop, in the garage, in the guy's house.
Okay. What's your address? I'm sorry. Okay, where do you see this body?
In the garage. Not the garage, the little shed that I built.
Is it a male or female?
Male.
Okay, hang on. How old?
He's just retired. He's like 67.
Okay. Do you see like he maybe hung himself or shot himself?
No. There's a drag mark from his house to the shed.
I just want to make sure.
Morphis's body was found wrapped in a tarp. His hands and feet were bound by zip ties. His head was beaten in, and his throat was slashed. An autopsy would show the man to have died from the first of 5 extremely forceful blows to the head with a blunt cylindrical object. Every hit showed enough force to have been fatal, implying that the perpetrator continued to bludgeon the retiree even after the man had slipped out of consciousness. The throat slash was performed after the beating, as if to ensure the man's death. Upon entering Morphis's residence, police surmised that this was not a burglary gone wrong, as Morphis's expensive collection of Star Trek comics and collectibles seemed to have gone untouched. Only Morphis's cell phone and wallet were missing. The next day, Morphis's car was discovered 30 miles from his home. It was set ablaze. It was completely destroyed. A scan of Morphis's financial instruments found several uses of Morphis's debit card in the short time from when Morphis's body was discovered. Every few hours, Morphis's debit card would make a payment via PayPal to a company called Aryan Enterprises. Seriously? The sole proprietor of Aryan Enterprises is a man by the name of Lorena Shaw. Shaw, a convicted felon, just happened to live a mere few miles away from where Morphis's burnt car was found. And fingerprints found in Morphis's house matched the fingerprints police had on record of Shaw. This was enough for a search warrant for Shaw's residence. Upon entering, police found Morphis' debit card, driver's license, and cell phone. Shaw's home also had several Star Trek collectibles and a large pile of tools commonly used for identity theft. Tools such as credit card readers and writers, blank cards, and printers. In another section of the house, police discovered piles of research, including writings and printouts. Said research was an investigation into housing properties. There were several target houses, including Morphis's. Detectives pored over all the documents to find similarities in the targeted properties. All were large homes in rural areas. All homes were not visible from adjacent streets. All homes were free of mortgages, liens, or other financial encumbrances. And lastly, all homes were occupied by a single resident. A warranty deed transferring Morphis's property to Shaw was also found in Shaw's house. However, detectives questioning Morphis's family found that Morphis was very happy in his living situation, and having recently retired and paid off his mortgage, Morphis was unlikely to have had a plan to sell his house. Morphis had made comments to his family members that he planned on living in that house until old age. The warranty deed was thus most likely forged. Both Shaw and his wife were brought in for questioning. What follows is the interrogation of Jeremy Shaw. It's 4 hours long, with an important transition at the 3-hour mark, when Shaw is informed that his wife had flipped on him. If you want to go straight to the interrogation, see the time code in the description below. Otherwise, keep listening because I'm going to spoil the story for those who want to know what Shaw's wife confessed to the police. If you're still listening, here come the spoilers. Lorena Shaw, Shaw's wife, informed the police that she helped Shaw in his plan to gain ownership of the home via adverse possession. Over several months, the two scouted out many possible homes to take over, ultimately deciding on Morphis's property. On the day the Shaw family decided to move in, Jeremy walked up to the residence, rang the doorbell, and pepper sprayed Morphis in the face. Jeremy then beat Morphis's head in with a pipe and slit his throat with a knife, hiding the body in the shed on the property. The Shaws were now the owners of the home and believed they can simply hide Morphis's body on what was now their land. Jeremy then destroyed Morphis's car. The Shaws' major flaw was not scouting the house extensively enough. They had not known about the landscaper, and thus Morphis's body was discovered quickly after the murder. The Shaws barely had any time to enjoy their new home before getting arrested. What follows is the interrogation of Jeremy Shaw. But first, a moment of silence for Stephen Morphis, a man who just wanted to retire happily in his own home.
Test. 2. Okay, Jeremy. Again, I'm Detective Ellis with King County Sheriff's Office. We're at Tacoma PD. I believe this room is audio and video recorded. But I don't trust technology, so I also keep a backup audio recorder, okay? You're in custody with us. I think one of our tactical team guys grabbed you off the street not too far from your house. That's where I met you. Our goal is to find out how you know Steve and just kind of what your interaction was with him this week. We're detaining several people today doing the same thing, okay? But because you're detained, we have to go through your rights. My partner here is Detective Scar. He'll do that because I don't have my reading right.
You have the right to remain silent. You have the right at this time to an attorney. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to an attorney before answering any questions. You have the right to have an attorney present during the questioning. If you're not appointed an attorney, one will be appointed for you without cost if you so desire. You can exercise these rights at any time. Do you understand these rights?
Yes, I do.
Okay. With these rights in mind, are you willing to talk to us today?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so we make sure I get the right. Give me your full name and date of birth, please.
Jeremy James Shaw, 3/11/1979.
3/11/79. What's the address of that house you've been staying at?
1407 South 43rd Street, from Washington, 9418.
And did you have a cell phone?
What am I doing?
What's your cell phone number?
253-433-1622.
Is it on your person, or
No.
where's the phone itself?
At my house?
It's a cell number, right?
Yeah.
It's not a landline.
No.
Who lives there at the house?
Me and my wife, my 2 daughters.
Okay. And your wife's name is
Lorena.
Lorena. Is that the gal that was walking with you? Okay. And the 2 daughters, are they your biological kids or
My
step kids?
kids and the adopted daughter.
Okay. But you're their legal father?
Yeah.
Okay. Or at least legal guardian?
Yeah.
Okay. Are they high school students or something?
They're high school, they're going to K-12.
Okay. Just to be clear, you see we have a recorder here, and I think this room is recorded. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So here we are. Today is Wednesday. All right, line off base here.
Yeah.
So we're on Wednesday.
The 26th.
So what do you do for a living? What's your jobs and so forth?
Well, I'm a roofer / general contractor.
Mm-hmm. Lifelong career?
Basically.
Are you under a company name or something else?
Area Enterprise, DBA of Experienced Roofers.
ARY? How's that?
Yes, ARYAN.
Enterprises?
Yep.
Is that what people know you by, or do they know you by Experienced Roofers?
Experienced Roofers.
So your company name that people would...
The DBA is Experienced Roofers, yes.
Do you have a crew?
Mostly it's me, my wife sometimes, my daughter sometimes, and if I need once in a while, I'd have Thomas or Elliot or Louis help me.
These are social friends of yours, just guys you know? Thomas, Elliot, and who else, I'm sorry?
Louis?
Are these Tacoma guys?
No, they all live out in King County.
Okay.
My Thomas lives here in Tacoma, that's my girlfriend's, or my daughter's boyfriend.
Young guy, younger guy?
Yeah, he's 17.
Besides roofing, you said general contractor. Do you limit yourself to framing or general cleanup?
I've done sheetrock, carpet, concrete, rebuild chimneys, paint the house, scrape the house, landscaping, junk removal.
Would handyman be a good title?
Yeah.
Do you actually do like new construction too?
Yeah, I do that.
Okay, so you got skills to do.
And industrial commercial. I was in the union for close to 12 years.
What kind of equipment do you have? Or do you have equipment?
For roofing, I have like a tool down here.
Roofing tool. How about lifts or dump trucks, shit like that? Do you have anything like that? What do
Like
you
a
do?
work truck or a trailer that you use?
I have my Expedition, and we have a hydraulic dump trailers that these are my neighbors that I borrow.
All these things that will be either your personal things or under the assets of the Experienced Roofing.
Basically, they're all under me because it's a DBA, sole proprietorship. So.
How do you get your jobs generally? Do you advertise or something else?
Once in a while, I put an ad on Craigslist, but mostly it's word of mouth.
Where do you limit yourself to? Will you go to Kitsap County, or do you stay in Pierce and King or something else?
Pierce, King, Thurston, Snohomish, Kitsap, if depending on how big the job is how far I drive. Yeah.
When
out to Lake Bay from Tacoma.
when somebody calls looking for your work, are you the bidder, the worker? I mean, are you doing all aspects of this thing?
My wife has been just recently. She asked if she could actually start helping out to take some of the load off, so I actually have some more time to be at home.
What's she doing, like bookkeeping or something else?
I'm trying to teach her how to do the bids, do bid sheets. She's been sitting in on phone calls with me and some of the property managers that I've been working with, the property owners.
Are you a lifelong Tacoma guy?
No.
Like I said, I apologize. I don't know anything about your background.
Originally from Wisconsin, moved out here in 1999.
Oh, 99. Ended up in Tacoma or somewhere else?
I came here I came in actually. And then Tacoma from 2003-ish, I think.
Do the cops know you? I mean, are you somebody the cops have been dealing with?
Not frequently, but I have a criminal history record for drugs and property crimes.
Washington or somewhere else?
Here.
What about Wisconsin? Anything going on back there?
Party 2 crime to deliver marijuana under 500 grams, and party 2 crime of burglary when I was 16.
Okay.
I had a sack of weed and a car stereo.
Are these felony things you can pop for in Washington? Did you do time?
Yes.
County or state time?
Both.
In Washington.
Yes.
Substantial time or just...
I just got done doing 5 years, about 2.5, almost 3 years ago, for accessory burglary.
Probation and parole right now?
No.
So you are all your own. You are your own man right now, huh? Let's talk about Steve. Obviously, that's why we're here. You know, he's passed away.
Yeah, the partner told me.
Okay, and yeah, so for the record, again, today's Wednesday. Do you remember when my partner called? I think it was John Free, right?
I believe it was Monday.
Okay. And he spoke to you on the phone.
And we tried talking a good half hour, 45 minutes.
Okay. Did you guys make a plan to meet up and talk in person?
No, he said if there's anything else he needed, he'd get a hold of me.
Well, I'm sorry to say that that's what we're doing now. I mean, that's probably not the most convenient way of doing it, but...
No, you scared the living crap.
Hey, do you have a warrant right now?
No, I don't.
Did you have a warrant like a month ago? And is it not even valid?
Yeah, I had a warrant that was issued in Kansas
Yeah.
that my ex-wife called the Washington Fugitive Task Force as I was hiding in Washington to report my thing in Kansas and have my house raided.
Okay, but you're here, so why did they not want you? Was it not a valid warrant?
They have had a government. Well, now I'm working with them about getting that resolved. But they had rushed through it. Now they had another like him hawing around about anything else. But like they said, they're doing what's going on with it.
They didn't extradite you, obviously.
No.
How long did you spend in locked up? A day?
I think 3 days.
Oh, okay.
2 or 3 days.
All right.
I got bailed out through CJs.
And that was just recently, right?
About 3 weeks ago.
Okay. That's about the extent of my knowledge of you. Was something that happened, yeah, about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, because the officer was really mad. He brought me down to Pierce County Jail to find out there was no signature on the governor's warrant. Oh, he was flipped out.
I can imagine that. That's one of those things that, yeah, they don't like to go out and get a guy if the state's not going to take him. It's a waste of your time, our time, everybody's time, court's time.
Yeah, but there's people that need to be got. Waste some time on that.
And the warrant was only issued 36 hours before they served it, before they kicked my door in. I hadn't been able to be notified yet.
Was that the same house?
Yeah. I was there for a little over 2 years.
Okay, so what's your relationship with Steve? And I'm sorry, do you remember his last name? It's
Morphis.
Morphis. Steve Morphis, that guy? How do you know this guy? Just give me the basic story behind Steve.
About 2.5, 3 weeks ago, basically, right after.
Yeah.
You guys keep doing.
So you were in and out?
Yeah.
Locked up and then out in a couple days?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Back to work. I get a phone call. I was working at a job in Rent Highlands. And a guy asked me if I'd come out and give him an estimate to pressure wash his roof.
That was the initial request?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, sure, where are you at? He said, Maple Valley, Renton. I said, I'm in that area today. I'll come over.
Okay.
Went over there and looked at the roof. Told him it was going to be like $450.
Yeah.
He was sitting there, talked about some other things, asked if I knew anybody that could help him get a lot of the garbage out of there.
Yeah.
I said, well, I could help you with that. What all do you have? And so he walked me around. He showed me there's 2 trucks, 2 white trucks, like a boat that was like suspended in the air with full straps.
He wanted that boat gone?
We haven't gotten that far yet. There's a bunch of like cables or broken like parts or things, just piles here, piles there, and said he wanted it all gone.
Who else was there when you were chatting with him?
No.
Did you come by yourself?
Yes. I told him, sure, we could do that. And then he goes, okay, well, let me think about it. All right.
Did he say where he got your number?
No.
But you're advertised on Craigslist? Or?
I haven't for a while. Usually, lately, it's all been word of mouth. I've been so busy from word of mouth that I haven't had it advertised in almost a year.
You have any idea where he got your info? Or?
I've never seen or heard of him before, and he didn't mention who he got it from.
Okay.
I'm sorry, say it again?
He never mentioned who he got it from.
Oh, okay. Is that kind
I
of,
never really asked either.
you just got right to business?
Yeah.
What day was this? So here we are, Wednesday now.
This would have been a couple weeks ago. I would, without looking at like my calendar and things like that, I'd have to say it'd be like that Tuesday or Wednesday.
Not yesterday.
Not
A week
last
ago?
week or the week before that, but the week before that.
So at least a full 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, like I said, almost 2.5, 3 weeks ago was when I first met him.
Oh. And you took the call and you went to do the walk around the very same day? So if worse comes to worst, if we had your phone records, I would see an outgoing call from you to him. And that would have been the first time you guys ever spoke in your life?
An inbound call from him.
I'm sorry, you're right. He calls you, and that would be the first time your two phones had ever connected in life, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be that day. No problem there. Did you go out there during daylight hours, morning, afternoon?
It was late afternoon, beginning evening. I think I got done at Rogers at like 3-ish, 4-ish. And it's not very far away from, that's just right up off of, what is that, 156, over by the school. I think it's First Avenue Court or something like that.
That was where you had been working?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you just called and said, yeah, I can stop by it. Wasn't that far.
Yeah, perfect. Sounds like a good business.
And you said there was nobody else there at the place
Not that I saw
at that
that.
time. Okay. And then did you mention whose stuff, the cars, boats, and everything was?
He said the one of them was just broken down. He just couldn't get it running.
Okay.
He didn't really talk about. We weren't even at that point. He was just talking. Got down, walking around, doing all that. He said, okay, well, I'll let you know. I said, okay. And I said, I'll write something up officially, and if you don't mind, I'll swing by the next day or so and drop it off to you. He said, okay. If I'm not here, just leave it out in the front porch. And I said, okay.
So you didn't make an actual deal yet?
We haven't made anything yet. No.
Okay. You were just at the estimate stage or bidding stage for the guy. Did he say whether he took anybody else's bids?
No. We didn't really talk about much at all. He walked me around. He did all that. I was maybe there all of 15 minutes.
Okay. So 15 minutes your first release.
Yeah. Just a quick look, just see the size of the roof, the condition it was on, and then a quick walk around, and then back to the truck, and I was gone.
And that was your excursion?
Yeah. That was that first time I was out there.
Okay. Is that in your name, or?
Huh?
Or is it expedition or excursion?
Expedition.
Okay. And is that in your name, or?
Yes.
Okay.
So what was the next thing to happen regarding plans? Was there more phone calls, or how'd it go?
Now, a couple days later, first day that would have been Wednesday, because it was the next time we got there was a Friday to start the weekend.
Okay. I know sometimes after you talk it out, He started with word specifics.
I knocked off early because we were all going to, me, my wife, my kids, we were going to be going up north for the weekend. We were going to go going up to by Mount Vernon because we were going to meet a friend of ours from British Columbia that was coming down. So I knocked off early and drove a lot, went back, stopped at his house. I would have to say like 1:32 o'clock in the afternoon.
Remember what day that was?
That was a Friday.
The like 2 days later?
Yeah, 2 days later.
Okay.
And he was home. He invited me in, we sat down. He looked it over, he said, okay, well. He said, I was thinking more about the trash and everything else, what can you do for that and everything? I said, well, how's this? What all do you need done here? Let's just see where I can get done for you, and so we don't have to keep doing this back and forth.
Yeah, let me back up just a bit. Did you actually have a formal bid to give him at that point? Did you actually have something for him?
Yeah, it was just for the pressure washing.
Verbal or
Written.
on paper? Okay. Written estimate?
Yes. $450 to pressure wash the roof of the house, and then clean out the gutters, do pressure wash off back deck and the front sidewalk in front of the house.
Basic pressure wash job.
Yeah.
Get ready for the winter. Or did he say why he was doing it?
No.
Selling the house, just getting ready for the winter, or
No.
or
it was during when we were sitting there talking the second time is when he said that he was going to be getting somebody to come out and take care of the stumps, and he was have some landscaping done.
Okay.
He said that was supposed to be starting before long. But
was he asking you to assist with that, or was that something?
You know, he asked me if I knew anybody that did that kind of stuff. I said, not off the top of my head, not with the stumps. And he said, yeah, he wanted to get all the garbage out. He wanted a property ship shape for. He said, then I'm going to be working on the house, getting the house, because the house is a mess.
Interior or exterior?
Interior. Okay. Well, not really a mess. It was really clean but dirty at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we were there. We know.
Okay. Stuff just everywhere and piles of dust on top of the stuff.
Okay. So actually, let me back up to the very first time you met him. The very first time you went out there, did you stay on the outside of the house, or did you go inside?
I had been from the house until I stopped by the bed.
Okay. And when you stopped by on that Friday, 2 days later, who all was with you?
Just me. I was coming back from work.
Okay, I got you. I'm sorry. I thought you said something about your wife being there or coming back.
That was the third. That was the third time that we went out there.
Okay, it's coming together now.
So we're inside, and he said he was going to start getting the inside cleaned up and all that. Probably hire a maid or something like that. I said, I got a wife and 2 daughters.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, okay. Well, he said, do you think they'll be able to handle what I want to do? I said, well, what do you want to do? He said, well, I just want to get it organized. I want to get my stuff together and just cleaned off, and I just want things cleaned up and put where they're supposed to be.
And he was referring to interior stuff also
Yes.
at that point?
At that point, he was like pointing over to Star Trek stuff that was here, other stuff that's over here. He's like, I just want stuff to be put where.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, well, let's kind of talk about it. So I had grabbed a piece of paper, and we were sitting there, and we were figuring the removal of vehicles, getting in a container. And then.
This is still that Friday, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was there for about an hour.
Okay. So if I get in a container for what?
For all the garbage outside.
Okay. What kind of container?
Recycle container. Like
a
bin.
Dumpster?
Yeah, dumpster.
Okay.
That's a container.
Okay.
And inside, I told him, I said, my wife's pretty good at keeping things organized. She keeps me going.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, okay, well, I want to meet her. I said, I'm going out of town this weekend. And I said, We can try to make something next week, I think, but I don't think we didn't make it back next week. It was close to the end of that next week. It was,
Maybe I'll look at the calendar as we're talking about here, about this. Just keep myself in here.
You say all total, you were there 3 times?
Yes.
Okay. So this is your second meeting, and you're planning your third
Yeah.
at that point. Okay.
So I should give it back to him, and that's why I got his phone number. Well, I programmed his phone number. Took off.
Was anybody else there at that time? That second? Okay. No, so nobody else there?
I never saw anybody there.
Okay.
Even when me and my wife came out there, he said we had just missed landscapers. And I saw the little machine sitting on the side of the yard, so.
Okay.
But he was all happy. He was showing me how the side of the house looked like crop circles. So yeah, that second time we talked about everything. And I said, well, I'll get everything written up, minus what you want my wife to do inside. And then we'll stop by one day and you meet her, and if everything's good, then I'll write something up and we'll get going.
Good.
Let me use the day you got hooked up September 20 something?
Yeah.
This warrant thing?
I think the 20th.
August.
August, yeah. Last month, right?
Yes.
Do you remember what day you got out of the clinic? I could probably look that up, but I don't know.
It was 3 days after it was on the 3rd day that I got out.
So, do you remember what day of week you got arrested? Did they actually hit your house, or how did they arrest you?
They came in at the house.
Remember, was it a Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, or something?
Honestly, I don't know.
The report, I remember, I thought it said the 23rd. Could that be accurate?
Yeah, probably.
A Thursday?
I would probably say more Wednesday because I was out in time for church.
Do you remember what day you got out then? Was it a weekend day or weekday?
I believe it was like Monday.
So that could have been Monday the 28th?
Could be. Honestly, I've worked so much.
Yeah, well, I'm
6, 7 days a week.
trying to figure out when the first time you were actually at his house. So that first visit to his house, you were thinking was a Wednesday?
Yeah.
Which leaves us sort of like, well, if it was like 2 days after you got out, was it like that quick? You got out of jail and
I was straight back to work the next day.
And you think you were at his house? Then that's potentially the 29th that he calls you.
That's what, 2 weeks ago. So yeah, right in there.
It's 4 weeks ago, technically.
4?
Yeah, I mean, it's 20. Your other choice, your other option
It's the week since.
is September
Yeah.
5th.
It was 3 weeks from then.
Yeah.
So if you're pretty confident it was a Wednesday, we're thinking September 29th or September 5th was the first time you were at his house.
It was definitely not the 5th because that would have been Labor Day weekend, right?
The 5th would have been actually the weekend of the 28th, right? September 27th, 28th, not Labor Day?
No, I thought it was the first.
No, I'm sorry, you're right.
September
Labor Day was the
4th.
3rd. Labor Day was the 3rd
Yeah,
of September this year.
Yeah, it was before that.
So before Labor Day was the first time you were ever at his house. You think it's Wednesday, therefore it must be the 29th?
Yeah.
If you got out sometime that weekend before,
Right.
or the Monday. Okay, so first time ever, maybe the 29th. We'll just use that as a running estimate. Okay. Second time was just 2 days later then?
Yes.
Then we're still in September. It'll be September 31st.
Yep. And then that was the weekend that I was going out of town.
Where'd you guys go?
Mount Vernon.
Weekend?
Okay.
Well, we've tried to, but Labor Day weekend.
Oh, yeah, it's all
Yeah.
full up. Yeah, we were.
Okay, so that's Labor Day weekend. You're out of town.
Yep.
Okay. You get back from town, do you spend like Monday, the actual holiday, out of town, or do you know?
We went up on Sunday to Mount Vernon to a restaurant up there where our friend Carrie, that lives up in Canada, him and his wife came down. We had a big lunch and all that.
Oh, okay.
And we took the long sightsee back up down through to Deception Pass, went down, played on the beach a little bit. Then ended up going all the way over to like Fruitsville, or we caught the last ferry back over to the backside and then drove back.
Did you sleep over somewhere, or was it just a one-day trip?
1 day long road trip.
Yes. So it's probably Sunday the 2nd.
Yes.
The next day is the actual Labor Day holiday.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I got lost here a little bit. So the third time you were at his place then would have been, how
The
soon?
end of that week.
You know what day, more or less? Thursday, Friday, weekend.
It would have been either Friday or Saturday.
Okay, so we were into September 7th or 8th, approximately. Okay, and that's the third time. And were you, maybe you can answer this, but were you by yourself again on the
That
third
was
time?
my wife.
That was when your wife was there. Okay. Your daughters also?
No.
Okay. Is that the only time your wife was there?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us about that visit from like beginning to end. Was it morning, afternoon, evening, or something else?
It was late evening. Sun was just setting when he got there.
So dusk.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Did you pop in, or did you call and make
I
arrangements?
just stopped in. We were working all day, and she been helping me get shingles.
Yes.
So I figured we were in the neighborhood. So we stopped by, knocked on the door.
Was he home?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, you probably asked this, Andy, but was he by himself?
Yeah.
So there's just the three of you and your wife and Steve, nobody else?
Yeah.
Animals, dogs, anything like that?
No, I've literally never seen anybody there besides him.
Okay.
I've seen evidence people were there. Like
Yeah.
the landscapers or the work that they did, but I never saw an actual another person.
Okay. How long was this visit, this third visit, either on Friday or Saturday, the 7th or 8th? How long did you stay there?
Hour or two, I think. I was bored because once he kind of started going, saying kind of what he wanted, my wife started giving him ideas, and he kind of led us to a tour of the house and showing us some of the stuff. Some of the things he had, like he had this gladiator helmet that I thought was really cool. I like the one Russell Crowe wore in Gladiator.
Okay.
He said it was a movie prop.
Nice.
I thought that was really cool.
Did he serve you guys dinner?
No.
Was it a social kind of, coffee and tea and chat kind of
I
thing?
just got a soda.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of a social type thing. Just he was showing us some of his stuff. God, he had a lot of Star Trek or Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't think anybody could have that much stuff.
How much did you guys do a walk around the
Oh, yeah.
outside again also? or-
No. I mean, no. We've been outside when we got there with my wife. I stepped on the back porch, smoked a cigarette. The only thing about told me that he has a lot of stuff. That's what you keep saying. That's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of work.
What was your plan? Do you have an idea?
She always has an idea. It's just sometimes I'm not apprised of it.
Sure.
I just
How it works.
said, well, I'm going to be busy for at least a week to 10 days getting the yard and everything cleaned up. I said, you can get that? She said, well, sure. I said, well, what do you want to charge him? She said, I don't know. You figure that out. Okay. So,
Did you guys ever finalize? So you showed him the $450 bill. You showed him the $450 bill for the power washing earlier. Did you guys ever shake on it, and was it a deal, or did you?
Well, I handed him a written quote.
Right.
And then, well, when he finally got down brass tacks and everything else, he was saying, even the boat, he wanted gone. I told him, I said, the boat, I'm going to end up having to rent a flatbed for.
Yeah.
I said, you don't have a trailer for it or anything like that. I said, I can get a container ordered out here, and that way I can just start loading all the metal and everything else.
Yeah.
I said, I have my vehicle transport endorsement on my business license, so I can legally move the vehicles out of here and get them down to a tow yard for you, or a scrap yard. I said, I'm looking at a week to 10 days where I'm not going to be doing anything but this. And then everything you want my wife to do. I said, what sounds reasonable to you? And he's like, well, I don't know. I said, I'm thinking about $6,000, $6,100.
So the first bid was just kind of put aside.
Yeah.
You didn't even deal with that anymore.
No, because he had so much more on top of it.
Okay, so this is now a verbal bid. Now you're just kind of thinking off the top of your head, this is going to cost that.
Now a week and a half, 2 weeks of our time, then plus the cost, running the cost in my head of getting basically a 40-foot flatbed. Renting a semi ain't cheap. That's about $2,000 for a day.
So $6,100. You were considering all the cleanup that he was asking you to do on the exterior, plus the wife
Yep.
interior, what? Maid work, essentially, or
I would maid work / organizer / I don't know what.
do you want her boxing shit up, or because obviously everything went out.
Everything about, I know that he wanted to get all of this stuff, all the stuff, all I kept saying is I just want it put together, I want it clean, I want it where I know where to get at it.
Mm-hmm.
So my wife, I know she was saying that she'd help him clean it, help him get it organized in areas where he can get it cataloged or whatever he wants to do with it.
Did she actually start doing some of that work? You guys were there for quite a long time.
Well, she started doing that when she was walking around with them. You grab a stack of Star Wars figures and go put it in the room as those two were talking. Like I said, I was bored. I'm not an organizing. I'm a construction worker. I tear things up, and I don't deal with little frilly cards and things like that.
Oh, okay. But I mean, she wasn't actually quote on the job. She was just trying to get a sense of what needs to be done.
Right.
That first time that she was there.
And if you meet my wife or talk to her for a while or been around her for a while, she's just one of those. She's mom. She'll be at a stranger's house and she'll start picking up.
Yeah.
I wish my wife would do that.
All right. So you guys are there for a couple hours. You throw him this off the top of your head $6,100 bill.
Mm-hmm.
Does he say? Does you guys make an agreement or not?
Well, he said, why do you think it would weigh that much? And I ran it out to him. I said, well, somebody's going to cost me about $2,000 for the day. I said, and then labor, everything else. I said, so I'm figuring we got half of my time plus all the little odd end things that are going to end up having to come up that I don't want to ask you for another penny afterwards.
Yeah.
He said, well, I think that's doable.
So we're talking truck, boat, general shit out in that area off to the side.
To that makeshift like hangar looking thing that's just half buried. Basically all the scrap metal that's in it half buried, all through that area through there, all that wiring and things like that, and his pocket or that pocket. Yeah. All the garbage.
All that stuff, that was your job, you were going to do that, your wife was going to do the inside organizing. And that was a deal that you guys were trying to make with it.
And then pressure wash the roof. Yeah. Pressure wash, spray off the building. Just essentially just get it neat and tight for him.
Okay, so if all that occurred back on the 7th or the 8th, here we are the 26th now, and tell me if you think we're off on the dates, but...
Well, we were, the Friday that we set everything up, because I told him I'd call first thing and get a container ordered on Monday.
Yes.
And then I said, because he agreed and everything else, and so I wrote up a handwritten bid
Okay.
on that letterhead.
You're still at the house there, or you?
We're at his house, yeah.
Okay.
And I told him I'll go home, I'll type all this up and everything else, and I'll have it with me when I come out here. He gave me his credit card for the down payment. Yeah, because they asked me if I could accept Visa, MasterCard. I said, yes, do PayPal.
Okay.
I said I need $4,100 down, and the other $2,000 when we're done. That $2,000 is basically all just labor.
Okay, I want to write this stuff down, so I'm sorry. You give them the run up a bid, just a handwritten one there. The down payment, what were you going to ask for down payment again?
$4,100.
$4,100 for down. He said that's doable.
Yep.
And how was he going to pay for it again?
His Visa or MasterCard, I don't know, his credit card.
Okay. And did you give the numbers at that time?
Yeah, we use my phone. I have Visa Pay Here, PayPal, Pay Now.
So you swipe it or do you type it?
Either or.
Okay.
I didn't have
Like one of those. Okay.
I didn't have my swiper with me, so it was typed into my phone. And then.
So I got back up here, one step at a time. So he gives you the card briefly. You type it, or is he reading you the numbers, or are you actually swiping?
Yeah, he just reading me the numbers. Yeah, I'm sitting there punching it on my phone. Put sale price for $4,100, and I told him I said PayPal won't process it until after I know for sure we have the container showing up.
Yes.
He said, okay.
So he kept the card. He gives you the numbers. You're punching in because you don't happen to have your swipey thing or sticky.
It's a Bluetooth card reader.
Is it the kind that you stick the card in and hold it, or is it the kind you swipe?
It does both.
Okay. Thank you.
And it doesn't plug into the phone. It just connects to it with Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't usually carry it with me unless I plan to use it because film's expensive and I'm in construction.
So is that something that's just linked to you?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't have to type in where the money goes every time. You just you swipe, it just goes to your.
Yeah. Oh, that one's actually linked to the IP on my phone and to my JPay account.
And that's a PayPal thing.
PayPal, yeah. So then.
So does that actually? Do you see there? Are you looking on your phone, and does it look like it all successfully did whatever it was supposed to do?
Well, I never sent the transmission in because I didn't order the container yet.
Okay, so you get the numbers. So when you're ready to do it, you have it.
Fail pending.
I got you. A lot of this is new to us too, so we're just.
Basically, it's in my call it shopping cart.
Yes.
Then that was Saturday. We were at Richard's house. That's because the next day we went to church and everything else. Me and I were talking a little bit about what's going on with what she would want you to do there, and I was saying, okay, cool, well, I'll be outside.
Yeah. Did they go through every room in the house? You know.
I'm pretty sure.
Were you with him the whole time, or so you smoked one time at least?
I did the initial walk around with him where he I turned on the lights of the rooms and showed us kind of a quick little thing of this, what was in there, how crowded it was and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But those two went and were just off talking and everything else for a while.
And you think the total time there was about up to 2 hours?
Yeah, maybe a little more. I know we got home about 10:30.
Midnight. PM.
Yeah. Everybody get on my feet.
A long day.
Okay, so we're talking now, Saturday the 8th, you went to church Sunday the 9th. So what's the next interaction you had with him, or what did you do regarding Steve's business or whatever?
Well, Monday morning I called around and got a container ordered for him.
Mm-hmm.
I tried calling him, he didn't answer. So I left him a voicemail message, and then I also texted him.
Mm-hmm. Monday would be, if in our timeline here, if we're correct, Monday would be the 10th?
No, just this past Monday.
Okay, that brings us to the 17th.
Yeah.
So we're shifting a week here is what I'm concerned about. So you were thinking you were at Aaron's house after Labor Day, which was the
Yeah.
3rd, that same week end is the 7th Friday and the 8th Saturday. You're thinking you were there the 8th Saturday. Or are we thinking it was the 15th Saturday, which was then just a couple days before he started calling around for containers?
It was, just a couple days before I called around for containers.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna show you what's let's see the numbers here. So Labor Day is the 3rd.
Right.
So you get locked up, you get released sometime around August, end of August, right? Initially you said it was just a couple days later when he calls out of the blue.
Yeah.
We're thinking it was Wednesday.
I'm pretty almost certain it was Wednesday because, it was 2 days later that I gave him a quote.
Okay.
The first one, and that was on a Friday.
On a Friday. So that's what I was getting at. It's either the 29th and the 30th, you talked to him, met him, or I'm sorry, you talked to him and went out really quickly, and then came back with a quote, either the 29th to the 31st, or potentially the 5th to the 7th.
No, because it was before I went on vacation.
Definitely before.
Yeah.
So did you have a week of downtime where you did nothing regarding him?
Possibly. I mean, I've been working nonstop, so.
Okay. So let's kind of move forward with these early dates are a little fuzzy, potentially. But by the time you're talking
what
about,
jobs I was on.
maybe we'll get there if it'll help. But at the time you're actually calling around to get a container, we're talking just last week. Is that right?
Yeah, we're talking like the beginning of this week.
Okay.
Like,
Not 2 days ago Monday, but
yeah,
a week ago
a
Monday.
week ago Monday.
Not 2 weeks ago Monday.
No, not 2 weeks ago.
Okay. So we're
So
off somewhere.
I talked to your partner later on that day.
You talked to my partner, I believe, Friday, the 21st. So last Friday.
So that Monday is when,
It was that week.
that week, that I went around to order a container. And that was going to be set for delivery on Thursday.
Okay. So we'll say tentative, you make phone calls
On Monday.
on or around Monday the 17th.
Yep.
Okay.
Asking, but the earliest I could get a container was like the 20th or 21st.
Understood. All right, deal. So what container company did you deal with?
Sherbin. It was just
Sure. How do you spell that?
Surebin, I think. I have an email from him in my email.
Okay.
Um,
So you cold called them with just a call, hey, this is Enterprise.
So I tried Glacier, I tried Hungry Buzzard, and I tried Renew, the three I usually go with.
Yeah.
But they were completely booked out. They had nothing that could tell me with. They were talking a couple weeks out.
Late summer, yeah, that's what happened.
And so I just started calling all the ones in there that started working my way down when I Google searched it.
Yeah.
To get Ben.
Are they out of Tacoma or Maple Valley or something?
They're out of Kent.
Surbin, Surbin?
B-I-N.
Surbin.
Yeah.
Surbin. Like Sherbin?
Yeah.
Like the word sure?
Sure, Ben.
Sure we ever been?
Yeah, sure we have been.
Okay, I guess. Just curious. Anyways, they're the ones that agreed, hey, we'll get something out there the 21st or whatever.
Yep.
Okay, and that was a deal. Did you have to put money down for that?
No. It was going to be $8.95.
And what day did they say they were able to deliver this thing?
They were going to be able to deliver it on the either 20th or the 21st. They were supposed to drop it off either Thursday or Friday that week. And that was as soon as they could get there.
Did they get delivered?
Honestly, I don't know. I know when I talked to your partner, I said, oh crap, you guys probably had a container tried to be delivered there yesterday or today. And he didn't say anything about it.
Okay. So it was $8.95. You didn't yet give them any cash or
No.
card transactions or whatever.
No.
You made a deal. Was it actually something where there was exchange of bill? Was there a bill laid out or something?
I filled out the thing online for the reservation form.
Did you speak with anybody?
Customer service when we called about changing the date.
All right, I got you. So you did the online thing. They call you back, or you called them?
They had to call their 800 number
Mm-hmm.
with the reservation number for scheduling delivery time.
All right. So at that point, you get a date of 20th or 21st. You give them the address
Mm-hmm.
of where it is.
All right.
You give them your billing address, or what's the billing address?
I only gave him his address, and my phone number, his phone number, my name, his name, as point of contact. Because once they drop that hanger off, they can't really do much else.
Yeah, no doubt. And did you guys exchange any emails on this deal?
No, they sent me a receipt,
Via email?
the confirmation of
Yes.
reservation.
Okay, so you got the container dealt with. Did that all happen on Monday the 17th? You made a lot of calls, but did it bleed into Tuesday or Wednesday or anything?
No, Monday I made the call and tried to call them and said, okay, well, I got the container ordered. I'm going to process that now.
Yes.
I tried to process it. It didn't process.
This is what day?
Monday.
Okay, so still Monday.
It would have been Monday, yeah.
So you had your PayPal bin with his credit card information ready to go?
Well, PayPal tried processing its request.
Okay.
It didn't go through.
So you think this is Monday?
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't go through though.
And what amount? For what amount?
4100. Didn't think nothing of it because I just ran it. So I didn't find out it didn't go through until that evening.
Yeah.
So I tried running it again. And didn't go through.
Okay.
I called him and left a message saying, hey, I don't know if I put the numbers in wrong or whatnot. I got his voicemail. He didn't answer.
What day was he called?
Monday.
We're still Monday.
And then he wasn't answering his cell phone, so I called the house phone and left a message on the answer machine.
Did he put a message on the cell phone also?
Monday when I tried calling it went back into that DV subscriber you were looking mailboxes or something.
Okay.
Left a message. I said, well, I'll touch base with you later on this week. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of the 41 when this weekend or something.
I'm sorry, that was your message or that was your conversation?
That was the message. I hadn't talked to him.
Okay, so what happens next?
I get a call from, well, actually, no, my wife gets a call from their partner.
And that was Friday that she got the call?
Yeah.
So you left a message. You tried to run his card Monday, and you left him a message Monday. That was all Monday.
Yeah, I was going to go out there and the container was going to be delivered on Friday, and I'd be out there first thing Saturday morning to get started.
Okay. I'm sorry, say it one more time.
The container was going to be delivered on Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and I was going to stop out. I was going to be out there first thing Saturday to get started.
Okay. That all happened Monday.
Monday into Tuesday. So yeah.
Okay. Monday into Tuesday, you got the container going. You tried the PayPal.
Mm-hmm.
There was an issue. Tried to call him. Cell phone's no good.
Well, first time I tried calling, I left a message on his cell phone.
Yes.
Second time I said mailbox solar, or subscriber can't be reached or some weird thing. I called the house phone.
Okay. Was that still all Monday or Tuesday?
No.
Could have just been as late as Friday?
No. Fridays. We're not even on Friday yet. Friday's when your partner called.
Right. So, okay. So let's go through the rest of the week. That all happens Monday, Tuesday. Do you know what do you do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
Work.
Let's go Tuesday. Did you have another job?
Tuesday I had court.
Tuesday court.
Where was that?
Pierce County.
Did you show up?
Oh, of course.
Okay. You know, that's about 50-50 thing for a lot of guys.
Oh, no, I don't miss my word.
Pierce County Municipal or something? What was it?
Spirit over that, felt fugitive from
Okay. What time is your court time?
9 a.m.
Things never go on time, so how long did you have to stick around?
We left there about 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, and you obviously weren't taken into custody, whatever, what do they do? They continue?
Another 30 days.
They didn't dismiss anything?
No. From there, I went over to the mailbox, checked in with them.
Oh, because you were on bail still?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And who was that bail bond guy?
CJ's, bail bonds. Also all city, they're the same place. They're literally like right next to the courthouse, so I went over there, checked in with them. Then from there, went over to the Hosmer house and shingling.
You think Hosmer House, that's a job site you got?
Yeah, that's when I just finished up where I'm supposed to be meeting the homeowner.
And is that one of your gigs, or are you working for, do you ever work for guys? If you're looking for work, do you ever just,
Yeah.
Another dude needs you to help and you'll.
Oh, when it comes to that, I go to the union, I just get dispatched to the union shop.
So you're a union member
Yes.
to this day?
Yes, local 54 refers and waterproofers.